Okay, this is Alejandro Aguilar. If you hear Arsenal winning, that's fake news. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
Let's do it 2 weeks in a row, and Sam's already in a bad mood. Look at you.
I had a very bad weekend.
I was going to say it was a shit weekend for local sports across the board.
Yeah,
You know?
I did not have a good weekend, starting with Thursday night.
Terps got their asses kicked. Nationals lose 3 at home in the World Series, now down to being eliminated.
I almost got in a fight in D.C. when I went.
Redskins suck balls.
On Thursday night, that started it all.
Yeah.
And then the old Arsenal.
Yeah.
Good for a big fuck up.
Hey, well, it could be worse. You could have lost like Everton, so.
Hey. Villa.
And Villa, yep.
At least they played the champions.
I mean, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, well then let's start the show. Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks.
That's us.
I am your host, Sam Houston, and that other schmuck across the way is Sam Graham. Sammy, how you doing, brother?
Not good. I'm in a bad place right now.
Yeah, bad place.
Very
Dark,
bad place.
dark space. That's why you're wearing the black T-shirt today.
I am. I'm actually in all black. Got black trousers on as well.
He's so emotional. That one. Still got that hangover from last week, huh?
A little bit.
The kids call it emo.
Heard.
Is that what it
that's
is?
right.
My nails aren't painted though.
It's
Does
only
that still count?
It's only a matter of time. You do have a daughter. They'll be painted soon enough.
Fair enough.
It's Gothic Graham tonight.
Yeah.
Heard.
That's right.
We are recording at Studio H just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on just about any podcast platform there is. Be sure to subscribe, rate, review, share with your friends. I see lots of people doing that on Twitter, which we really do appreciate. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Sammy, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Sure. We are at DU Football Show on all the social medias. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Please slide in the DMs. We love chatting during games and just general shit talk. So it's a lot of fun. And then DUfootballshow@gmail.com, of course, to get in touch via email, and you can also join our closed Facebook group, Drunkard United FC.
Yeah, that's
join
been
that.
fun.
You have to answer a couple of questions. Just when you get there, don't be a cunt.
Yep, that's pretty much how it works.
That's it. Talk shit about football, and that's about it. No politics, no religion, no sexism, no racism.
Yep, just have fun.
I think I pretty much covered it all.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the
think.
isms for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
All
Sam,
right, there we go.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hands throughout this show and every show. Sammy, we sipping on some yak tonight, ain't we?
Hey, we is.
Yeah, what we got?
Wish I had some endo. Help me forget everything that happened this weekend. Sipping on yak and endo. Because fuck gin and juice, you know what I'm saying?
Heard.
I need something a little heavier.
Heard a little.
Anyway, we've got Celt Cognac. This is their VSOP expression. I kind of wrote my notes all scattered.
Heard.
It's from Grand Champagne, and it does see some ocean aging, actually. The casks go on ships for a bit, which causes the liquid to interact with the wood that much more because of the racking of the ship.
Yep.
Comes in at 80 proof. You're at $65.99 to $75.99 on the shelf. Just to give you a little bit of background on cognac, must be 90% Uni Blanc grapes, must be aged in wood from the Limousin forest.
Mm-hmm.
Also, VS, very special. The abbreviation for very special is 2 to 4 years old in that wood, and VSOP, which is very special old pale, or very special old product, as it's been modernly kind of adapted, is 4 to 6 years old.
Yep.
And there are higher levels than that in EXO and Napoleon, which we won't get into because we don't have.
EXO's been now upgraded to a minimum of 10 years, where
Okay,
it
there
used
you
to be
go.
a minimum of 6.
And Napoleon's, 13 in it?
Yeah, right
Something
up in
like
that
that,
range.
yeah.
12, I think.
So
Everything in cognac is evens. Everything in Armagnac is odds. And everything in Armagnac's a little bit younger. So it's 1 to 3 versus 2 to 4 for VS.
Got it.
And then it's 3 to 5 as opposed to 4 to 6 for VSOP kind of
Got
thing.
it.
Yeah. But lovely little juice, isn't it?
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like
little,
that.
Little something changed up from the whiskey run we've been on lately.
Yeah, and just real quick, I do want to mention, in lieu of our friendiversary on Facebook, my good sir.
Oh,
Which
you
just happened over the
pansy.
weekend. I grabbed a pint of Drinking Buddies from the Brookville Beer Farm in Rockville.
Aw.
That's for me and you, bro.
Oh, why thank you. Where's mine?
You don't like...
Fuck off. You know I just want to drink Ice House.
Exactly. You don't like good beer, so
I like great beer. Ice House tastes amazing.
cheers.
All right, here we go. Good show, guys. And then I knock into the computer as well, which was really good.
Yeah, that was...
I should probably move my hand away from that. So, just kind of pretend like that didn't happen.
All right, Arsenal and Everton suck. You guys have a good evening, and we'll catch you next week. Psych.
That's going to be third segment. Really, I mean, you would think we would probably talk about how the big clubs did, but
Yeah.
no, actually, there were 3 freaking hat tricks this weekend. 2 of them in one game.
Yeah.
So Leicester City 9, Southampton 0, Chelsea 4,
At
Burnley 2.
At Southampton, too.
So the Foxes kicked 3 field goals on their way to the
Yeah.
9-0
The
win.
Foxes outscored the Redskins from Thursday.
That's fucking insane.
It's not hard to do.
Fair enough. Oh,
That was
They
the score the
outscored the
Redskins
Nationals.
lost. That's the score that
True.
the Redskins lost to the Niners was 9-0.
Yeah, exactly. They so Leicester obviously dominated this match. Southampton's a bad team. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
Not a problem. But the 12th minute red card to Ryan Bertrand obviously didn't help.
Yeah.
What I was surprised at is the utter and complete capitulation of Southampton. Last season, what kept them up was their organization that House and Hoodle brought in after they fired Sparky. Where was it? What happened? Are they not buying into it anymore? Do they just not give a shit? Because there's a few goals that were pretty good from Leicester. But really, a lot of them were mistakes.
Gunn bottled a lot of those goals, like a near post off his hand. He almost dropped one into the net that he saved on the goal line from it going over.
Yep.
And I mean, right after the red card, there was 2 goals in less than a minute for Leicester. We talked about this with the Watford game against City. There's nothing wrong with getting a red. Okay, that's gonna happen.
It happened. Yeah,
But-
absolutely.
But don't then just roll over and die. Like,
Well, here's the thing, and here's how you know it happened. I've said it to you before, and we talked about this last summer with the women's national team, U.S. women's national team, scoring like crazy against the Thai women.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a difference because the difference in quality between the two teams in that instance, where this is teams of similar circumstance in the Premier League in terms of financial clout, right?
yeah.
And still being this stark on the field in that day,
Yeah,
right?
those teams' budgets
Leicester-
aren't that far off one
No,
another.
but Leicester continued to score and looked actively going for the top flight record, which they equaled, going for the top flight record of biggest win period in the Premier League.
And also biggest away win now, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a single fucking card for Southampton after Bertrand's red.
Yeah, why didn't
You
you?
obviously don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't want you
beat
to go
on
out
him
and
a
hurt-
little.
I don't want you to go out and hurt somebody. I don't want that. You're not supposed to do that. I don't agree with that. I'm an athlete also. But if my dignity is being called into question, which it was, as Leicester continued to celebrate, you need to fucking stand up for yourself.
Put a few asses on the ground.
And
let
they
them
didn't
think,
do it.
Let them think about, oh, hey, my shin hurts because I got hacked the last time I came down the pitch. Let me think about this before I go trying to cut in towards the goal. I mean, 5-0 at halftime. You would imagine that Huston Huddle would have just said, okay, boys, we're going to pack it in. No more goals. We're going to see this thing out. We're going to
Yeah,
lose 5-0.
damage control.
Maybe we get a goal. And Leicester come out and score almost immediately.
Exactly.
And just the wheels completely fell off. There was zero effort or care or concern from the team, and it didn't seem like there was much from the coaching staff either. They
Nothing.
seemed to not
Just
really-
shell-shocked. They just standing there like, what do we do now?
It's,
Well, and part of that, the other thing is it can't all come from the coaching staff. There's 10 professional athletes on the field. Does your pride not come into play? Fuck the coach's instructions at that point. I'm
Yeah.
going to go stop this shit from happening to me.
yeah.
Right? Set someone on their ass. Do something about it.
Somebody
and
on
they're continuing to sell it, running and getting the ball out of the goal so they can kick off faster
yeah.
because they want that 10-0. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's absolutely ridiculous. And really, to be honest, we've said it before again, which is why I brought up the U.S. women last summer. Leicester, lack of class, celebrating in the way they did after it was 5-6-0 up.
Oh, well, the Vardy at the end, at the whistle, scoring a penalty. You know, come on, it's a penalty. Sure, it's a hat trick, but there's no need for you to jump in the air and fist pump.
No,
Like,
and what was the I think it was Vardy's second, maybe. It was his first or second goal, and Ayoze Perez slammed the ball back into the net after it had come out, after he had bulged the net, and the ball was kind of trickling back
and
out.
that's at 5-0 at that point.
Right. It's like, what are you doing, man? Have some respect for your opponent as well.
Right.
You know, do your job. I don't care about the score line. Run the score up. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Respect your opponent and what they're trying to do, and you don't need to celebrate when the game's already gone.
Yeah. Do you think this moment right here for Southampton may be signifying the beginning of the end for them?
So we talked about this a little bit before we started, and I'm going to pull up the Premier League table real quick, which I already have here. You have Watford in 20th on 5 points, Norwich on 19th with 7 points. You have Southampton in 18th with 8 points. Southampton's minus 16, Norwich minus 13, Watford minus 16 in terms of goal differential. Obviously, this didn't help Southampton a lot at all. Name me 3 teams that are worse off than Southampton.
Out and
Anybody. Newcastle, you guys, Aston Villa, Brighton, Burnley.
no.
Wolves, Tottenham,
No.
West Ham. That's how you're going up the table. Up to Bournemouth in 9th. Crystal
Maybe-
Palace in 6th, flying high.
Maybe
Tell me
maybe Sheffield falls back to the pack a little bit, but
Sheffield's in fucking 8th now.
yeah, I know.
With
I mean, but
a +1 goal differential. That's an extra point,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think you can only name 1, maybe 2 clubs worse off than Southampton.
Yeah.
Which would mean Southampton occupies that either next to last or last relegation spot
You could
in 18th
say
or 19th.
Brighton because because Southampton beat Brighton. You could say Brighton, but
then you look at the result from the weekend, yeah.
Brighton's figuring out ways to get
And
wins.
3-0 against Watford.
Yeah.
3-0
Against Tottenham.
Against Tottenham. Yeah, absolutely.
3-2 against us.
They're
Like,
getting results.
They're figuring out ways to play attractive football. So, you know, they may go. Brighton may be misfortunate and go down, but they're not going to go down in a way where it's like their dignity was ripped from them. Southampton feels like when we saw Sunderland go down, when we saw Stoke go down, it's just like this.
Yeah.
Just this stripping of their just
absolutely.
manhood as a club, it feels.
100%. And they showed it again with the lack of desire after they went down to 10 men. Not a single card. Nobody gave shit enough to hit somebody on Leicester for what they were doing.
It's a cold, shitty, rainy day on the South Coast. Make it tough on Leicester. Just make it tough on them. Lose 5-0 with like 5 yellows, and you knock some people around, and at least you hustled. And you got scored on because Leicester counterattacked you to death because that's what Leicester does. No, Leicester just owned possession,
Yep.
and Southampton just stood there.
And good on them because fuck Southampton.
That's true. We both want to see him go down. How about this? The American Christian Pulisic finally gets on the score sheet and does it in amazing fashion with a hat trick.
Yeah, and does it perfectly.
Yeah, you were calling it like the Norwegian hat trick or something
No,
like that
so-
last year. I forgot what it was you were calling
so
it.
there was the English
Calling it
perfect
some
hat trick.
calling it some like sexual position last year.
That was the Scandinavian hat trick.
Yes, the Scandinavian hat trick.
Yeah.
I believe that was an episode title.
It was. Do not Urban Dictionary that term. You might thurp a little bit. You might throw up in your mouth. But no, Christian Pulisic had a perfect hat trick. So what I explained last year was the English perfect hat trick, which is what I've been aware of, is left foot, right foot header my
Yeah.
whole life. Apparently the Germans or Norwegians, somebody in that sort of realm, a perfect hat trick is just 3 goals uninterrupted.
Right.
Nobody else scores in between you.
Norwegian, so you mean Liverpool supporters.
Maybe.
Okay. That's a dig.
It is a dig. It's either Norwegian or German. I don't remember who it is. But anyway, it was 3 unanswered goals right in a row, right?
Right.
By the same player. So Pulisic did that on both accounts. First goal left foot, second goal right foot via a small deflection.
Right.
Third goal header, and nobody scored in between.
Yep. Goals 1, 2,
any
and
of
3.
his goals. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was brilliant. Good on him. It's a shame for Burnley because that Jay Rodriguez strike goes down as a consolation, and that was fucking brilliant.
That was nasty. Old man still got it.
Dirty. Fucking dirty. Old man with a man bun. Sorry.
Yeah. So one thing worth noting, yet again for this Chelsea team, giving up a couple of late cheap goals. Now, granted, the Rodriguez goal was a brilliant goal, but yet again, couple of goals. Let a team back in it. Like, you're up 4-0. See that sucker out.
Well,
Game should be 4-0. You shouldn't be letting them get 2, and hell, in extra time, almost 3.
Yeah, but I think part of that comes with being young.
Yeah.
We forget there's still a young team.
Yep.
4-0 up, you kind of take your foot off the gas a bit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Or even 3-0 up, whatever it was when they scored.
Yeah.
You take your foot off the gas. And that leads to little lapses in concentration, obviously, little issues. And the Jay Rodriguez was a worldie. I mean, he should never have scored from there. There's nothing you can do about that. It was just a brilliant strike.
Yeah.
The other one, little lapse in concentration, and boom, it's in the back of the net. That's what happens at the highest level. Luckily, you had scored 4 before that.
This
That's the end of it. But great for Pulisic. And I want to liken this because I'm wearing the shirt, and you'll all see that on social media later. Mm-hmm. It's all about me. This is why I said drop Nicola Pepe for a couple of weeks. Get your fucking head right, come back, and you'll be a world beater. Look what happened here.
Yep.
Cold, rainy day in Burnley, which is the new cold, rainy day in Stoke because Burnley's better than Stoke and actually
Right.
still in the Premier League.
True.
And Christian Pulisic comes out with a fucking hat trick.
Stoke last place in the championship currently.
I know. They're shitting the bed horribly. But look, you see what I'm saying? You take that, okay, put you in the team, big signing, you're all excited, have a couple of weeks, not really hitting very well, drop you. A couple of cameos here and there, a couple of little, short 15-minute substitute appearances, drop you from the team, bring you right back in from the start, bang, bang, bang. Hitting on all cylinders.
Everyone on that team is scoring right now. Everyone.
All I'm saying is Emery out, Sam in.
Yeah. Heard Emery out, Sam in.
That's all I'm saying.
But everybody on that team scoring, and a few weeks ago we were like, okay, it looks like it's going to be Leicester and probably Arsenal battling for 3rd and 4th. This looks like a team that should probably qualify for Champions League.
7 out of 7.
Yeah, this team's
7 out of their last 7, Chelsea.
December will be tough.
In all competitions.
December will be tough. December will be a very new, big learning experience for.
They'll beat us right now.
For this club because the kids probably aren't used to what is December's just. It's a kick in the nuts how busy of a schedule it is.
Fair enough.
It's
yeah.
4 weeks. You play 8 games. And then right after that's over, right after the new year comes, you start playing in the FA Cup. So really, it's you played 9 games in basically 4.5 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a lot, and that's going to be interesting for them. But if they come out of that fairly unscathed, why shouldn't this team finish 3rd or 4th place? I mean,
Absolutely.
Lester's playing fantastic, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do see Leicester as probably being a 3rd place team as long as they hold it together, as long as nobody gets hurt. That if that team stays healthy, why shouldn't they finish in 3rd?
The only reason is they trip over Brendan Rodgers' teeth.
I heard. Top 2 both get wins, but more importantly, the top 2 both have solid performances. Liverpool 2, Spurs 1, Manchester City 3, Aston Villa 0. So Spurs with the quick goal and a very
As lucky.
very rare mental lapse from Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
He always follows the man. He's like, how was
the deflection came off of him.
And then it hit the post and it came down, and he was the closest one to Kane, and he wasn't even looking at Kane.
No, because he was trying to block the initial shot, and it came, which put him out of position in relative to Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But he got quite lucky, Harry Kane.
Oh, it fell exactly where it
and
needed
he was
to fall.
just onside when the shot was taken, and like it all kind of very lucky for Harry Kane.
Uh,
We're both biased against what happened.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want to shit on Virgil van Dijk. I want to shit on Harry Kane.
Oh, of course.
So this is the immovable object meets the unstoppable force. We're not going to come to an agreement here.
It's also interesting that VAR wasn't able to try to figure out some way to disallow that goal, because I'm sure whoever was manning the booth that weekend was like, okay, how can we make this work for Liverpool? I've got to figure out a way to make it work for Liverpool. Damn it, I can't. So I guess the goal's going to have to stand.
It's hard because Tottenham only managed 4 shots on target, and only 32% possession. But I feel much better about this performance from Spurs than I have in the last 3 weeks. I felt like they put up more fight. I felt like they actually gave a shit. Now, some of the football was terrible. Christian Eriksen gave the ball away a multitude of times. Eric Lamella's hurt again.
Yeah.
So there was bits and pieces that really sucked about the
Son
performance.
should have put that one away that he got around Allison on.
100%.
But one thing they did particularly well, and we haven't seen this happen to Liverpool this season, and this is where I want to give Liverpool credit, Spurs frustrated the shit out of them.
Yeah,
Spurs
they did.
were standing in front of every single free kick, every single throw in.
Yep.
Every time they walked by, there was a bump. There was something being said. It was just, it's just
They Latined them.
We're gonna fuck with you tonight.
They Latined them.
Yeah, but
Latin gamesmanship, man.
all of that being said, Liverpool dealt with it.
Yeah.
They dealt with it very well.
Mm-hmm.
They owned possession. They kept plugging away. And if it isn't for, holy crap, hello and welcome to the English Premier League, Paulo Gazzaniga, oh my God, doing his best Tim Howard and saving everything.
Liverpool had 13
everything.
shots on target.
Yeah.
So, 2 goals? So he saved 11,
And
and at least 2 of them should have been goals.
there
He had
was-
no business making those
there was-
saves, but he did.
there was like 3 or 4 diving saves.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
brilliant
And big-time
diving
dives,
saves.
yeah.
Then he
Not
had
just like the El Gato make ESPN highlights.
early in the
Real diving, good saves.
first half, high dive to his left, knocks down, falls to I think it was Henderson just inside the box. He's able to get up quick, get wide, get his body in front of it, and knock it away with his chest. So that little boom, boom, 2 shots right in a row, and stand up and be heard, sir. Good on you. That was a hell
well
of
done.
a performance.
With all the gaffes that Hugo Lloris makes in general, I wouldn't be surprised if Gazzaniga kept his place. If he could play like this for the next 2 months,
Yeah, I think he will keep his place.
I think he might keep his place.
I
man.
think he will keep his place.
Yep.
He's played brilliantly, and Lloris is getting a little long in the tooth, and that you could see them potentially moving on from him.
Well, absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
This was big for the Reds.
Huge.
This was very.
This is the type of result.
Really bad performances, and in this performance, even though they were trailing for the bulk of the game, they looked like they were calm. They looked like they were reserved. They were in control. They were going to try to get that equalizer. A little bit of fortune with the penalty, but they played well. They deserved to win, and they looked good doing it, which is something they haven't done for the past 3 weeks.
Right. The other thing is I think back, again, a lot of me talking about my team is just that's what I know best.
Of course.
Especially from history. So, yes, we make fun. It's all about me, but this is just an example.
Right.
In our unbeaten season, I remember Thierry Henry got hurt, I believe, who's our normal penalty taker. And it was a 0-0 stinker against somebody. Robert Perez got taken down in the box. And of all people, Laurent, our Cameroonian right back, played midfield for Cameroon, but right back for us. He's the one that stepped up and take the penalty. Scored it.
Yeah.
1-0 win. Random people in a championship season, in a championship winning season, pop up at the right time, at that moment. They grind out those results, and they figure out how to win regardless of where it comes from. Jordan Henderson hadn't scored a goal for 4 years at Anfield. Pops up with the winner. Or
Well,
the equalizer. The equalizer,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Pops up with the equalizer. What nobody else looked like scoring legitimately because Gazzaniga was having a worldie that day.
Right, and the defense was getting in front of everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, think about the amount of shots they blocked too.
Well, that they blocked on top of the 13 that were on target.
Yeah, exactly.
But, with Gazzaniga standing on his head that day, you had to imagine, like, maybe it's just not Liverpool's day, It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But then Jordan Henderson pops up with a finish. You ever seen him finish like that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck no. But it happened. And then you get Serge Aurier being Serge Aurier, putting himself in a position where the referee needs to make a decision.
Right.
Regardless how you feel about it, what do we always say? Don't put yourself in a position where the ref has to make a call.
True. Very true.
Period.
Yeah.
And he did. He put himself in that position.
Yeah.
You can't just wildly try to swing at a ball. It's like he forgot Mane was even there.
Right. Yeah.
You cannot just swing at a ball and think there's no repercussions for it.
My only debate to it, and of course I'm going to debate it because I don't like Liverpool. The two teams those two players back and forth were grabbing and pulling and shoving on each other. Mane had just pulled him to the ground before he got up with one hand and went to wildly kick it away.
Total dive.
So yeah, I hear you. Total dive. So. Okay, you're not going to call any of that leading up to it, but then you're going to call that it just felt like that needed the whistle needed to stay in the ref's pocket on that one for me personally. Now,
but it wouldn't have, because VAR would have fucked it up anyway.
True. It's by letter of the law. That's a penalty. You don't necessarily have to call it, and the way those two were so physically beating on each other in that moment, it felt like you could have blown the whistle 2 or 3 times on both of them, and then you finally decide to blow the whistle.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. I'm with you.
But also, I
understand what you're saying.
The right team won.
I don't agree with what you're saying, but I understand what you're saying. And this is part of the world we live in now.
Yeah.
Right? With VAR, this is part of the world we live in now. Referees are going to trust VAR to overturn them if it's wrong, because they won't go look at it themselves. Or they're going to trust VAR to get it right, and they'll keep their whistle in the pocket.
That was the big thing that you said when we talked about it over the weekend was, yet again, a referee does not go over to a television screen and look at the fucking play himself, which is what he should be doing.
Same thing in your game.
Yeah.
Same thing in Arsenal when they called the foul on Callum Chambers that I still can't figure out where the foul happened. Same thing, there was another one, damn it. Those are the 3 big ones.
It was not a good weekend for officiating.
No, but those 3 penalty decisions are the big ones that stand out in my mind, right? The Michael Keane step on the foot of Connolly.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But no, right. But it ties into this, right?
Absolutely.
So what referee is going to leave it in the pocket? What referee is going to call it? And then hope either side that VAR is going to get it right when it happens.
True.
But who's in charge then?
Yeah.
Again, download the fucking whistle track and have the stadium announcer just play it when the VAR calls them and says, hey, that was a foul.
Yeah.
Just referee remotely from now on. Fuck it. What's the difference?
Don't even have the ref.
What's
on the
goddamn difference? It's not his decision anymore.
True. Very true. Now, moving on to City and Villa. Villa,
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
City, very valiant. Villa, very valiant first half defending. The only problem is there's 2 halves in a game.
Yeah.
And they immediately give up a quick one. I mean, 3 minutes in?
That's hard. Coming out of the break like that, that's tough. After you've done so well that first half.
Got to keep that mental fortitude.
I'd probably say this is the best 3-0 loss I've ever seen.
Yeah. I can't be too mad at the loss because I thought the guys played really, really well. And my God, City's goalie, to quote my husband, played his dick off.
He did. Y'all still had 5 shots on target.
Yeah.
And a few of them were really good. I think of a John McGinn chance.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Little half volley, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was phenomenal. But I thought you all troubled Stones and Fernandinho. Mm-hmm. And now City again with a conundrum at the center back position after Fernandinho was sent off for a stupid ass foul in the 87th minute.
Yep. So we'll get to thoughts on that in just a second. I was going to say the thing that you have to give credit to City on the last couple of games they've been clinical, not reactionary. Like the game against Watford, that was reactionary. That was, we just lost to Norwich, so we're going to go beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
They lose to Wolves, and the last 2 games have been, no, don't overreact. Play the football. We know how to play. Walk out with 3 points. It doesn't need to be 10-0. It just needs to be a good, solid win. And that's where I told you last week when I said I don't see City making another one of those mistakes again. If they lose the rest of this year, it's because they lose to, a Chelsea team that's on, or they lose to Liverpool at Anfield. It's not
Really, they lose to their injuries.
Yeah.
It really depends who it is on the day. I mean, not that I'm not going to predict this necessarily, but Colin Wilson will rip John Stones and Fernandinho apart.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a quality counterattack, Colin Wilson will make them look like schoolboys.
And he's big and...
But that's what I'm saying. You need a proper center back to deal with him, right? And if they don't have one, you're fucked.
Vardy's going to give them both a hard time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Vardy will definitely give them a
Regardless of the form table at that point, Vardy's going to give them hell if they don't have a proper center back in place.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So they could lose to their injuries as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be the quality of the opposition.
Yeah. Now, so we briefly touched on the Fernandinho second yellow, getting the red, being sent off.
Stupid.
Yeah, just...
And in a nothing position.
Now, Otamendi's healthy, but I don't think you necessarily want to run with Otamendi. But
you have to.
I have thoughts on this.
Let's defer to Mel here while I pour her shot.
I have thoughts on this.
I love that.
Okay?
I have thoughts.
I have thoughts. All right, so you ready? Okay, so the red card. I would like it noted that Dean Smith, realizing that Jack Grealish was on a yellow card and getting a little heated up, what did he do? Yanked him off.
Yeah.
Jack wasn't happy.
Probably poor choice of words. Subbed him out. Maybe not yanked him off. That could be a little messy. Maybe he covers the net in glory.
I mean,
if
Do
he
you
does
remember
that.
Do you remember the
How
Replacements?
Else do you cover yourself in
Yes.
glory?
Do you remember the movie The Replacements?
Yes, I do.
Orlando Bloom's the
Yes.
white guy. What's Black Orlando?
Yeah, I know. Orlando Jones.
Jones.
Yes.
He when they put the stickum on his hands, he said, "Coach, this is cheating." he was like, "It's so. What are they gonna do? Put you in football jail?" And he goes, "Coach, it looks like a jacked off an elephant." So,
Okay.
Dean's, and
So
I
back-
imagine with that hair.
Back
Continue
to
with-
my thought.
Sorry.
So Smith, I can't think of a euphemism. Pulled, jacked, yanked, removed. Jack Grealish.
Jack
Just
Grealish.
subbed
Subbed
him
him
off.
out.
Just
Thank
say
you.
what happened.
I couldn't think of anything better to say. All right, so he does that. All right, smart coaching.
Yep, absolutely.
Howbeiver, Pep let Fernandinho stay on with a booking who saw the second and got them all like fired out. So, by that rationale, Dean Smith, better manager than Pep. Changed my mind. Cheers to you, Villa.
All right.
Well said on your shot there. Well done, girl.
I'll let you have your mic drop, but I do have thoughts on that.
I'll give myself snaps.
There you go. I'll let you have your mic drop. I'm not going to say my thoughts,
Just saying.
Brilliantly done.
but a lot of my thoughts have to come down to age and experience with Fernandinho and Jack Grealish, respectively.
So, our two teams suck. At least
Yeah.
you didn't lose.
I guess.
We fucking suck.
I mean, VAR had a lot to do with us not losing.
VAR didn't help us out all that much either. Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 2, Brighton 3, Everton 2.
I'll just hand you back over this shot glass, Houston.
Cool, great, thank you. I would imagine the giving away the quick lead has got to be frustrating.
No, absolutely it is. There was a big problem with team selection. We don't have a creative presence. I said when we got him on loan, Danny Ceballos was the new Aaron Ramsey, new box-to-box guy. You remember this?
Yep.
We can go back and pull the clip at some point if we need to. Yep. I did say that. He's not a number 10. They want him to be a number 10.
He's not.
He's not. The front three have no service in general. Bellerin needs to come back. Tierney still needs to bed in a bit. Although I thought Tierney played pretty well for not having really played this season.
He's finally getting some minutes.
Well, he was hurt, and then, which I don't know how he passed his medical, but he did. But he was hurt for the first while. Played a Europa League game, played a couple of reserve games. and only lasted, I think it was 61 minutes in this match, maybe a little longer than that. But anyway, there's still no steel in this team. There's still no desire, no want. There's still no energy in a lot of cases, to be honest, despite the pace of Aubameyang and Nicola Pepe. When they get the ball, we look dangerous. When they don't have the ball, we look scared, fucked, hesitant. Really, at the end of the day, all I want to say about this game is fuck Granit Xhaka. You petulant little cunt.
Heard.
That's all I want to say about him, because you never tell your own supporters to fuck off. You never, as a captain, rip your shirt off in view of the television cameras, in view of the coaching staff, in view of the fans. You never leave the stadium before the fucking game is over, which he did. He's got a new baby at home. He's probably on an hour of sleep. People have been giving him shit on social media beyond football. And that's wrong. I agree with that. I understand you're frustrated. But telling the fans in the stadium to fuck off in that moment, you need to be professional.
I
have a lot of problems with my job. If I walked into my lobby and just yelled fuck off to my management, I'd be canned in a heartbeat.
If you wear the armband, you are set to a different set of standards. If he doesn't wear the armband, you can be an asshole like that and kind of get away with it.
Absolutely.
You wear the armband that says captain on it. That means you are held to a higher standard than every other player on the pitch. And you are supposed to be the responsible adult. That doesn't sound like you're being the responsible adult.
And we didn't want you to be captain anyway.
Right.
So you're confirming the fact that we were pissed that you were chosen as captain.
Yeah, precisely.
Your performances have been shit. The best pass he played the other day was a 6-yarder, in my opinion, despite him having an assist. His best pass was a 6-yard pass to the left. It tells you loads. His distribution is garbage. He can't tackle. He's rash in the tackle. He's not a leader, in my opinion, because I think of Patrick Vieira. I think of Roy Keane. I think of Sol Campbell, who on that performance would have grabbed somebody by the scruff of the neck on his own team, right? During a corner as they were waiting for people to set up, said, get your fucking head out of your ass and let's do it. That would have cracked somebody and gotten up and been like, show something, do something. Desire, want, need, determination, heart. These are things that aren't coached. These fucking lot don't have it.
So what's more important is VAR got it right.
They didn't.
I mean, clearly Zaha was fouled, and the referee on the field just wanted to give him a yellow for diving because, well, that's just the rumor with him. So clearly VAR got it 100% right, and hey, good on him. And I'm sure you're pleased as punch that the technology is working and working to the level that it's working at. So please pontificate. Actually, don't. You've already
he's
already
having
covered
a
everything.
very hard day, and you're just
Weak.
needling
Oh, he's
him.
about
Weak.
he's about to do it to
Weak.
me, so I might as well get in my jabs while I can.
I'll just go ahead and drink my beer and my
mean,
cognac.
I mean,
Cognac.
if you think Arsenal did that badly, I mean, wouldn't you do a shot of Malort just to punish
Oh,
yourself?
hold on. Just hearing. VAR questioned my. Nope, they confirmed it. Cognac is right.
So let's look at the positives, Sam. Here's the positives.
I got a point and you didn't?
Should Guendouzi need to have a second career to fall back on, he clearly has the makings of a free safety in the NFL. Because right there at the end, I mean, both feet
Very
leaves.
Troy Polamalu, wasn't it? With the hair and everything.
Yeah, arms around the shoulders,
was
gets
great.
him fully wrapped, smart enough to not lead with the helmet, keeps his head out of the way, wraps him up and brings him down to the ground, and only sees a yellow for it. So, that was a beautiful tackle.
I agree it should have been a red.
Oh my God, that should have been a red.
When I talk to you
How
on
is that not a red?
when I talk to you on Sunday, it's one thing to block somebody off, right?
Yeah.
I do it. Everyone does it. You just put a little shoulder into their chest, block them off their run. That's a yellow. That's a normal impediment. He fucking tackled him. Straight up tackled the guy.
W-
Rugby, NFL,
WWE
everybody's
Edge
proud
with
of
the
him.
spear
Oh, yeah.
right through the fucking
No,
into the
fuck
fiery
Edge.
table.
Fuck Edge. He Goldberg that motherfucker. He'd take it old school.
He definitely Goldberged his ass.
That was and textbook tackle.
Oh, it was perfect.
It
It was a
great.
picture perfect NFL tackle. It was like
Definitely
that was
red.
brilliantly done.
Definitely red.
And it's on the defensive half of the field, so you can't put into play last defender. But it was basically last defender.
Well, yeah,
Zaha was
which is
gone.
Which is why I did it.
gone.
and-
Zaha was gone.
Part of what Martin Atkinson seemed to gesture as the Palace players were asking why was the ball was so far gone. Right? He seemed to do one of these with his hand where it's kind of, flicking his finger out like the ball's gone. The ball's gone.
Yeah, but
Well-
Zaha's fast as hell. He would have caught. There
the
was
other
nobody
thing is
there.
that there's nobody behind Ganduzi.
Yeah, there was
So,
nobody.
Ganduzi was moving forward. Zaha dinked it past him, albeit a heavy touch. I don't even think Bird Leno would have got to it
No.
potentially.
Man or the ball, never both. He definitely he did that right.
Oh yeah, he channeled my spirit. That's for sure.
Oh my God.
That's fantastic.
So, looking at the Everton game, honestly, you know what this was? A carbon copy of the Millwall FA Cup exit. This was a rainy, shitty, terrible day. A call doesn't go your way, and then you fold like a cheap card table and lose the match. A match that
I
you
was
were
looking for another A at the end of it.
a match that you were clearly the better side.
Yeah.
Graham Potter in his post said, Everton was unlucky today. They were the better side.
Yeah.
Glenn Murray on, and I have my own thoughts about the penalty. Glenn Murray, a player on the team, on the field, said, that wasn't a penalty. Like, on the opposite team said, that's not a penalty. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
That's, woo.
I can see why it was given. The same thing about Liverpool. He impeded Conley. However, completely accidental. He was looking at the ball. It's not like he swung. It's not like he...
It was two guys
And
running for the ball.
It was just a coming together. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that fucking happens.
Yeah. Would that have been called in the middle of the field? Would that have been reversed in the middle of the field?
Probably not.
It's, I mean, hey,
But again, they were alone by themselves. It was the spotlight was on, right? If this
Yeah.
is 2-3 touches middle of the field, you got 8 people around you, blah blah blah.
slow something down enough, it looks really bad.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. Just I think Longstaff's red card was,
he was up in the thigh. He almost kicked the guy in the nuts.
but it hit him in his shin first. I watched it back.
Good throwback to me and Jags from last year.
It
Very
hit him.
well
In,
done.
it hit him in the shin first.
But I mean, honestly, if this is what clear and obvious is, great. Then stick to it. Earlier in the match, Richarlison is pulled down in the box, and in fact, there was a stoppage of play because he got inadvertently kicked in the head. So at that moment, there is an opportunity for VAR to check and see if there was a foul. If it's a corner kick, they are letting defenders hold and pull and do everything. They aren't reversing any of it. And let's face it, on every single corner kick, Sam, I'm saying every single corner kick in the
There's
Premier
jersey
League,
pulling.
you will find a foul. Every
I talked
single
about,
corner kick.
I talked about it last week with Socrates.
It's going to be there.
We've talked about it at nauseum on multiple shows about John Stones when he got that. Emerick Laporte against Spurs, the first or second week of the season, whatever it was. We've talked at nauseum about these decisions that are fucking trivial.
Okay, if that's clear and obvious, now we know what clear and obvious is. Start calling it. Start calling it all the time now.
The good thing, another show we listen to that will still, for 2 years running, remain unnamed.
Yeah, we never mention it.
Never going to. Is mostly because they're better than us. They pointed out that the top brass from every Premier League club is having their biannual meeting this coming week.
Right.
And I think VAR is part of that agenda.
Wow. Okay.
So let's see what happens.
True. So as I told you last week, don't get the win on the road. The game at the win against West Ham means nothing. The win against West Ham means nothing. if we're able to beat Tottenham at home, great, I guess. Like this team's going to be is going to be between 8th and 10th place. That's what this team is going to be. They're going to be nothing more than that. And it's a shame because there's plenty of talent. There's plenty of investment from the board. There is more than enough opportunity for this team to be great. They just aren't. And I wonder. Go ahead.
I think, to be honest, the problem has been the firing and hiring of managers over the last 3-4 seasons.
True.
Every manager has been given the checkbook. Not just get us out of trouble, Big Sam. He was allowed to sign a few players.
Yeah.
So so was Koeman. Obviously, he was your actual manager for a few seasons running.
And he signed every number 10.
Shit went wrong, right? You brought in Big Sam. Shit went wrong. You brought in Marco Silva. And Marco Silva has part of a squad that still isn't his because of financial fair play and because right. So when you bring in a firefighter, probably
there you
the
go.
appropriate English term for that. You bring in a firefighter to save your season. Don't hand him a blank check in January.
True.
Don't let him sign anybody over the summer. It doesn't make sense.
Make him fix what he's got.
Right.
If that's your job, if that's what you do well, then this is what you're going to do well.
And
we've
rest
given
of
you
the
the pieces.
right.
Make
And
it work.
The rest of the season, you should be interviewing candidates, getting the right fucking guy for your team.
Yeah.
Right? And then giving that guy the checkbook. Sign who you want. Get rid of who you want. And let's see what we have. Come up with a clear and I was about to say clear and obvious. Come up with an identity for this club, right?
Right.
That was your biggest strength under David Moyes, was you had an identity.
Knew exactly what that team
You
was.
were a fully blue-collar team. You were Burnley before Burnley existed,
Yeah.
right? You counterattacked. You scored a shit ton of goals. You were really...
I'd be egotistical enough to say we were the model that some of those teams like Burnley were built after.
Leicester and Burnley, you were somewhere in between the two of them. You counterattacked a lot. You had the players. You could play possession here and there against the right teams, but you had your identity, right? You had a clear idea of how you wanted to play, and you played that way, and the results were there. You almost qualified for the Champions League if Liverpool didn't get the rules changed over the summer.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Absolutely
So
true.
You had... That seems to be what you're lacking for me.
So I would say the following, and then we need to wrap this up, is for Marco Silva, unfortunately, his job is now tied into the League Cup. The minute we go out of the League Cup, I think Silva's gone. So if we lose to Watford on Tuesday, I think Silva's out.
Wow.
I really think it's now because we're advancing in a cup, we're not going to change anything. But we need to see this team go on a hell of a run. They need to win 4 or 5 in a row because, like I said, going into December, it is at Leicester, at Anfield, home to Chelsea, home to Arsenal, at Manchester United for 5 weeks in a row, for 5 games in a row in December.
I see one win in there.
I mean, yeah, but beating you?
Yeah. Hey, really, I do want to give a quick shout and a mention. How unfortunate for Bernard.
Oh, I know.
That's terrible.
It looks like ligament damage too,
Yeah.
which means that
Multiple months.
Yeah, that's going to be a
potentially on the
while.
sideline. Yeah.
And he's really been playing well and
He's been
in
playing
form
excellently.
lately.
There
And-
was no whiffing and hitting his plant foot like last season.
Yeah.
He's actually scored some goals, made some assists.
And the problem there too is when he was healthy there, it gives the manager choices. So
Yep.
people have to compete for the job. Well, now, Iwobi and Walcott and Richarlison, like if they don't put Richarlison up top, there's nobody really challenging him. So
Well, and there's the other thing about Granit Xhaka walking off the field. This is just a general point about professional athletes. The second you feel entitled to that position, fuck you.
yeah.
There's other professional athletes trying to fight for that spot. The second you feel entitled that you shouldn't be dragged off or that you're an automatic starter, you're no longer a professional athlete. You're a petulant little child. That you don't. There's no room for that. That ego needs to fuck off.
So here's my shot. Speaking of petulant little children, seriously, Everton, fuck off. So-called didn't go your way. Still play the rest of the fucking game. And play the rest of the game, finish it out because you were the better side and you should have won, but you decided to roll over and die. So fuck it. Here's the U. We're going to do this real quick because, let's face it, there's not a lot to say about it. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. West Ham 1, Sheffield 1, Watford 0, Bournemouth 0, Newcastle 1, Wolverhampton 1, Manchester United 3, Norwich 1, although it should have probably been 5-1. Oh, alrighty. So Hammers can't seem to beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
No.
That's a problem. If you want to be competing for, top
Europa League,
7,
Europa
best of the
League, yep.
rest, whatever it is that you're looking to become West Ham, you can't then go not getting 3 points against Sheffield.
We said it a couple of weeks ago. Sheffield's been much more organized after their helter-skelter start to the season.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place kind of craziness, riding the emotion of Billy Sharp, coming up from League One with them, blah, 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 right? They're very organized now. They're tough-nosed, hard. It's almost like Phil Jagielka's having an influence in that dressing room. Imagine that.
They're kind of playing like just exactly what you expect from a championship side. We are going to make your life hell.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's working.
And it's working because all of the prima donnas and divas in the Premier League
Yeah.
worked against us. They beat us 1-0. And Musette on the score sheet again, young lad. Good for him.
Yep. So for the second week in a row, Bournemouth participated in a Premier League match.
Oh, come
this
on.
time, it was against Watford.
Come on. This was a goalkeeper's clinic. I thought you'd appreciated this a little bit more. Aaron Ramsdale.
There was
Ben
some good saves. There were definitely some good saves.
Made some fucking brilliant saves.
I would say though that Cherries have not scored in all of October.
Is that right?
Yeah, they didn't score a single goal in October. They don't have a goal of the month award because there wasn't a fucking goal.
There's 2 posts hit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the post hit of the month award goes to
Delafeu.
Yeah.
Hit the post off a corner.
He's a cheeky little guy.
He
fucking
is a cheeky
Delafeu
little
is.
bastard, yeah.
Yeah, it's I remember that faithful day with Everton that I watched Everton Arsenal, you two, and he with you and Rob, and he danced down the sideline and just like rocketed it right over top of good old Walt's shoulder on the inside post and ended up on the far post like just a rocket. I remember that one.
Newcastle Wolves was a good game.
Yeah.
Mel, did you see that transition?
That was a beautiful transition. Look at you driving the bus.
And then he crashes it by pulling me into the conversation.
I had to.
You know
I
I'm
had
over here
to.
playing on my island.
Yeah.
The problem is he's proud of himself, and
I
that's
needed help because he was
Sorry.
really getting on me and I had no response.
He was it's self affirmation. He's looking in the mirror and he's going,
Yeah.
I'm brave enough, I'm strong enough, and gosh darn it, people like me.
I'm
It's
ready
ex-
for the Festivus feats of strength, sir.
So Newcastle, unfortunate to get the red. I mean, I feel it was a red because hell, he practically kicked him in the nuts.
It was a red.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't a
Yeah.
red. I think it was a bit harsh. He started to pull out of the tackle. He caught the shin guard, and
Yeah.
I think the plastic propelled his foot
Yeah.
up.
Oh, he did. He totally pulled his leg away. You could see him
Yeah.
on the initial slide in. He pulls the leg away, and then just somehow the leg pops out right at the end to kick him in the nuts. Like, it was just like
It hit-
It was like dink.
It hit 3 spots on his leg. And I think he was just unfortunate he didn't hit flesh the first time.
Right.
He hit the plastic of the shin guard.
And it just went-
And it bounced off.
Bounced
hit
off the
knee,
kneecap
and
and
then
bounced-
hit the groin.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if he had like flexed his foot and pushed his toes forward, it'd have popped one of his nuts.
Wolves cannot beat teams they're supposed to beat.
No.
They're gonna now
it's
they're
all-
gonna go to Arsenal and beat the crap out of Arsenal because
Thanks.
they
There's no Europa League this week.
they get up for the big teams. They always get
Yeah.
up for the big teams, but
Well,
this
that was the thing we said about him last season. Same thing.
dropped 6 points to 20th place Huddersfield.
Yep. The other thing about Wolves is just their schedule, man. Their travel schedule sucks.
They have
And
played 20 games already. It is
Right.
the end of October, and they have played
They've played
20
double the games most of the other
Everybody
teams
else has played probably 12 to 15.
15, 16, yeah, top.
Yeah, it's insane. But again, they're going to be nothing better than a 7th to 9th place team if they don't start beating the teams they're supposed to fucking
Right.
beat.
Well, here's look at this. Wolves has a lot of experienced internationals, right? Some may say those players are a bit more prima donna. Look at City. Are they really? Are they up for a fight? Arsenal definitely not up for a fight.
Right.
Liverpool seems to be maybe up for a little bit of a fight this season now.
Here's where I make my name.
Right, but
Here's where people notice me.
Exactly. As a Wolves player, these going to Burnley, going to fucking Watford, going to those teams
At Newcastle.
Those teams make a living off putting up a fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Wolves, from an outside impression, they seem to not have that that gumption, that meanness, that get stuck in kind of.
I like gumption. Gumption's a good word.
Yeah, they just don't have that. That.
We went from gumption, Mel, an SAT word, to
That je ne sais quoi.
No, not je ne sais quoi. So on to.
Do you know what je ne sais quoi means? It means that I don't know what, that X factor.
I know I'm being silly.
No, I don't think he's.
I don't
being
think he-
silly.
I don't think he knew it.
is. I figure with the cognac and the whole, we had a whole theme going on. but
Yeah.
no.
Okay, where's my out clause? Sam had you. Where's my out clause? Got to get out of this. Run away, retreat.
Manchester United missed
called
two
hit the
penalties.
fucking
Yeah,
mute
Manchester,
button.
Manchester United. Yeah, hit the fucking mute button. So, United gets
Je ne sais quoi.
heard. United actually gets a win. Like, they had a good performance against Liverpool, and they got the win. This is what United should be doing. Why are we so surprised that United did it?
This screamed a draw. I said that
God,
last
yeah.
week.
God, yeah, dude.
On injury time, which you should pay us to listen to.
Speaking of whores, hi, Sam.
United is a lot like Arsenal in that respect. You don't feel like they have a spine. They have great attacking talent. That doesn't always show itself.
Right.
They have
Arsenal 5 years ago.
5 minutes ago. they they look like a shell of themselves at the back from years past. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have moments, and those moments are good. And then they fuck them up later. They spent, was it close to £1 billion over the last 5-6 seasons, assembling a squad of ninth place
Mediocrity.
finishers. Yeah, So I don't know, to be honest. And if they won 5-1, you'd have been like, okay, look at this. That's a good result. But we still have something to talk about. Penalty woes for Manchester United continue. Two different penalty takers in this match, and Tim Krul saved them both.
I would
It's like,
say let's give a little credit where credit is due with Tim Krul. I mean, the Dutch team still has him be their backup keeper because if a game is going to penalties, they sub him. Him.
Fair
in
enough.
'cause
He's one of the best penalty stoppers in the world.
Yeah, hands down, he's one of the best.
100%. I agree with that. However, you're 12 yards out, and players nowadays with the technology that goes into the ball,
Yeah.
right? It almost has divots in it like a golf ball to make it fly faster and make it move in the air.
Right.
With the way the boots are made nowadays, with the strength and nutrition of the players, from 12 yards, you got a 6'3" man standing in the net. The goal's 24 feet wide and 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
It should be automatic. It
Well,
should
it's,
be.
the
It should be Milivojevic every day of the week for everybody.
The ESPN show Sports Science actually broke down saving a penalty kick and came to the realization through, doing, equations and math and all that fun stuff that it's legitimately luck. It is luck that a keeper saves a penalty, or it is a mistake from the shooter because the keeper saves the penalty because they shouldn't.
Right. So there's still something to talk about negatively for Manchester United. You got to be worried about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But overall, good performance.
3 points are 3 points.
Overall, good performance.
It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. Wow, Sam, we've already run an hour and we said we weren't going to, so we are not good. So let's be quick on this one.
Let's fly it.
Nobody picked a game right this week. We all suck. You suck. I suck. Pat sucks. Kitty sucks. Everybody sucks. Nobody can pick a game correctly. So, Sam, you're sitting at negative 885. What's your shitty pick this week? Oh, as you're writing out your Cup of Losers. My Cup of Losers says I shouldn't make bets anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that into the Cup of Losers here. I shouldn't make bets anymore. There you go. Feed the Cup of Losers. Cup of Losers is getting fat over here. And Sam's still writing. He's writing his manifesto, apparently.
So I wrote hashtag not my captain.
Heard hashtag not your captain.
And fuck Everton too.
Oh, fuck Everton too.
Because I had you guys on separate bets.
Yep, absolutely.
Remember?
Yep.
Yeah. Bunch of cunts.
So
what do I have this week? I am choosing the Crystal Palace Leicester match. I could not turn this one away after the last couple of weeks from Leicester. Leicester to win away from home again.
Mm-hmm.
Over 3.5 goals in the game.
Okay.
Plus 575.
Okay, there you go. So going
Couldn't
big.
turn it away. I don't think they blew their load.
You think they're gonna? Well, all you need them to do is win 2-1, right? You said 2.5.
No, 3.5.
3.5. Okay, so you need 3-1,
3-1 or 3-2 or whatever.
I could see a 3-2 in that match.
But
it's
going to be a parlay.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Oh, it's parlayed together.
It's parlayed, baby.
Nice. Very good.
Going big.
And you said
Small
Ray.
Sam's
You said
lock of the week.
Heard. You heard. You said Ray decided to send in a bet of the week as well.
That would be Small Slams. Dink, dink. Lock of the week.
All right. So you said
Yes,
Ray had sent us.
Ray did send in. He's doing separate bets again because that seemed to work so well last week.
Oh, it worked magnificently last.
Manchester United to win at plus 125. And Everton and Tottenham to draw at plus 225.
Picking a draw on that one. Interesting.
For you.
Yeah. So
he was my friend first. I see where this is going.
Pat is officially in the hole, minus $25.
Hey!
And now it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's pick of
Time
the
to
week.
pay up.
All right. So this week, like I always say, taking parlays is a sucker's bet. I love the fact that you had just said you were parlaying it, and it caught up to me last weekend. Thanks for the draw, Arsenal. So let's get back to the black this week.
VAR.
Sunday, main game is Everton taking on Tottenham. Now, I think that Tottenham is going to win, but I know this is a 2.5 under, and he is going to take the over.
Can we, real quick, do we call this a thigh rubber with the form you're in?
And
the form they're in?
No, this is a head scratcher.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So it's even money. He's going to put $100 down on the over. It wins him 100, gets him back out of the hole, and puts him back into the black again, which he's been pretty good about doing.
Okay, and this is total game over 2.5?
Yeah, over 2.5
Over
for the
2.5
total.
total
So
score.
three goals.
Doesn't matter who gets it.
Just 3 goals
Yeah.
is what. And you know what? I say that's a safe bet. I think that's a hit.
Oh, it is a safe bet, but let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
As Mel so illustratively pointed out a few weeks ago, scared money don't make money, son.
Heard. All right, I'm down 690, and frankly, hope none of you actually take any of my gambling advice because it's wrong. But for
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
I'm going back to the well. Sadio Mane to score against Aston Villa. Sorry, Mel, plus 112. So hopefully I'm wrong and Mane doesn't score and Villa beats Liverpool, which I will gladly lose that bet.
Oh, you know what? When you lose that bet next week, you're going to get so much shit from me. And if you win that bet next week, you're going to get so much shit from me.
You put yourself in a lose-lose, mate.
I'm married to her. All I do is get shit from her on a regular basis.
Russ might help me find some stuff for the show next week.
Hey,
Now.
now we're talking.
Now, if that was enough, that'd be pretty good for prediction time, wouldn't it? But more importantly, we don't just give you this. We give you Kitty the chicken.
You all will see what I see here soon, but it's really pitiful, to be honest.
But there's no audio, so you can see it, but you can't hear it.
Listen to this while you listen to Prediction Time.
All right.
Or watch it while you listen to Prediction Time.
So Kitty
It's a
was,
catchy number.
Pacing around the coop,
Catchy number.
rather annoyed
Okay, Frank.
with her 2-game slide.
That's right. She's lost 2 in a row.
So this week, I thought I'd give her something out of the norm as Burnley heads to Sheffield to play Dolphins. Love you, Nick. Kitty recanted a story of reffing a thumb wrestling match between Prince Charles and Mick Foley.
Hold on. That's a claret and
A blade.
a blade and a thumb wrestling match. Was this sanctioned? Did Mick Foley bring in Sacco as like a tag team?
Sacco
and
was over in the corner looking very threatening.
Against
but,
Prince Charles?
Against Prince Charles.
had the scepter in the
They
other
were
hand,
thumb wrestling.
So it was a
It's
whole
like the
thing.
Twilight Zone.
Kitty gets into some weird shit, man.
You know what? Kitty gets round, but she is pulling a draw for that match.
Yeah, clearly, if she was with both of them, she clearly thinks they're on even ground. So, first time she's picked a draw this season. That's
There you go.
interesting.
And that's what the chicken has to say.
There you go.
All right, people, you know the drill. As always, gamble
And drink.
responsibly and legally.
Because Sam forgets it every
I
time.
forgot, except that one time I did admin good.
We had one thing we needed to do, Sam. What was it?
Win.
What didn't we do, Sam?
We tied. We didn't win.
Yep. So
6-6, wasn't it?
6-6. Yeah. Tight match. We didn't have any subs.
I left.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was in a bad way, man.
Yeah. Understood.
I don't know what was going on.
It's called age. Get used to it.
My body felt weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Felt weird.
super
Is that a
weird.
technical term? Weird.
Yeah, that's a medical diagnosis.
So we finished the regular season 2-2-3. We finished in 5th place, so we are just outside of the playoffs. But all things considered, other than that, just thumping we took from Noreen, team played really well, and I'm happy with what we're doing.
Yeah, me too.
And I think we're moving in the right direction. And I think we're going to find ourselves in playoff matches, and certainly maybe even in a championship, and maybe even hoist up a Division 1 trophy again, because I think we're good enough.
Yeah, at some point soon. Absolutely. We were in every game.
Yeah.
And I did play for about a minute and 30 seconds in this one.
And I just went, nope, not working.
Well, I did get to hit somebody, which is all I felt like doing, because it happened on my dad's death day.
Yep.
So that was good.
Yeah.
I did send someone flying on their arse.
That makes everything better, right?
It did make a lot better.
All right. Well,
But,
that wraps it up. Sammy, any parting words?
Fuck VAR.
Fuck VAR.
Mel, hit the button.
Can't say I disagree with you, sir. Can't say I disagree with you. So, thank you so much for joining us, boys and girls. Few things. A few months ago, I had mentioned the Earfloss podcast. That was it's a music history podcast. I actually finally re-recorded my episode this past week, and that'll be up on Wednesday. So if you want to hear Big Sam talk about Lizzo, a topic you would never think you'd hear him talk about, while drinking a lot of whiskey, feel free to check it out. I'll make sure I post the link for everybody. And yes.
I wasn't done.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done.
All I did was ask her to hit the button.
I just was finally making you be done. We're going over an hour, so
We're
short and sweet, killer.
recording here on the 28th of October, and I'd like to wish my wife a very happy 34th birthday.
Happy birthday,
I
Carly.
love her very much.
Do
Happy
we think
birthday.
she's actually listening still?
No, not a chance. I'll make her listen to this part of it at least. Happy birthday, dear. Love you. And now I'm finished.
Excellent. Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to preview the weekend's games. And also, an old friend of ours from Liverpool has checked in on the emails. So we're going to read about that.
Could that be a Mr. Mike Rogers?
Oh, why, yes, it is.
Mr. Rogers. I imagine he changes his shoes when he gets home, doesn't he?
He probably does and puts on a sweater as
Best
well.
part is, if Mike Rogers
Got
wants,
tickled by a gorilla?
if Mike wants to hear the next bit, He has to pay for it.
So check us out on Patreon to find out how our bonus show works. And till next week, everybody.
Fuck off, Mike.
If you hate something, kick it off your desk and tell it to go fuck itself.
Sam,
Yeah.
get off my desk and go fuck yourself.